A Toyota Hilux in Chad survived being buried in sand for 3 weeks. Dug out by rebels, then driven 400 miles across the Sahara on 2 cylinders. The engine, still running today at 680,000 miles. In Alaska, a Ford F-250 diesel pulled a stuck bulldozer in minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit weather after sitting frozen for 2 months. Started on the first try, 740,000 miles later, same engine, never rebuilt. Today we're exposing 12 trucks with engines so overbuilt they laugh at death. Vehicles proven in war zones, deserts, and Arctic tundra, where failure means you don't come home. These aren't marketing claims, these are survival machines. Let's get into it. Number 12, Chevrolet Silverado 1500 with 5.3-liter V8, 2014 to 2018. A commercial fence installer in Texas drives a 2016 Silverado 5.3-liter across ranch country, installing barbed wire fence in 110 degrees Fahrenheit heat while hauling 2,000 pounds of steel posts and wire. Current mileage, 412,000. Original engine, never opened, still making full power across terrain where pavement is a luxury. And air conditioning failure means heat stroke. The Chevrolet 5.3-liter Ecotec 3 V8 making 355 horsepower represents GM's peak V8 engineering before accountants ruined everything with complexity. This is enough power for real work, towing 11,100 pounds, hauling 2,100 pounds, without the catastrophic defects plaguing the 6.2-liter that's grenading at 60,000 miles with spun bearings. Here's what GM won't admit. This generation's 5.3-liter with direct injection and cylinder deactivation improved fuel economy to 17 to 18 miles per gallon, combined without sacrificing the core durability. The 6-speed automatic is proven technology, not the troublesome 8-speed or 10-speed experiencing harsh shifts and premature failures. In Canada's Alberta oil sands, where trucks work 24/7 in conditions ranging minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit and downtime costs $5,000 per hour, the 2014 to 2018 Silverado 5.3-liter dominates fleets. Mechanics report these engines hitting 400,000 plus miles, with maintenance consisting of oil changes every 5,000 miles and occasional AFM lifter replacement around 150,000 miles, costing $2,500. The downside? The active fuel management lifters occasionally fail, but it's a known issue with established fixes. The interior uses hard plastics. Electrical gremlins pop up occasionally. Use 2016 Silverado 1500 LT, Crew Cab 4WD, $26,000 to $32,000 with 70,000 miles. You're buying a V8 that'll hit 500,000 miles with oil changes and the occasional AFM repair. But GM's proven V8 can't match what Ram built with legendary Hemi power. Number 11, Ram 1500 with 5.7-liter Hemi, 2014 to 2018. A drilling contractor in North Dakota runs a 2017 Ram Hemi, hauling welding equipment and pipe across Bakken oil fields in conditions where summer hits 105 degrees Fahrenheit and winter drops to minus 45 degrees Fahrenheit. The truck has 387,000 miles. Original engine, never rebuilt, still pulling 9,000-pound trailers across gumbo mud roads that swallow half-ton trucks whole. The Ram 5.7-liter Hemi V8, making 395 horsepower, represents Chrysler engineering something spectacularly right and refusing to ruin it. This is a proven power plant with cast iron block construction and robust internals designed for 300,000-mile lifespans that real-world use extends to 500,000 plus when maintained properly. Here's why this matters. These specific years use coil spring rear suspension instead of the troublesome air suspension failing catastrophically on 2019 plus model. Air suspension repairs cost $3,000 to $6,000 and fail repeatedly. Coil springs just work forever. These years also pair the Hemi with the proven 8-speed ZF automatic, used in everything from Rams to BMWs. According to Ram heavy-duty forums, owners report these engines routinely exceeding 350,000 miles before any major repairs. One Texas rancher documented his 2016 Ram working ranch duty hauling livestock trailers through creek crossings and caliche roads. At 428,000 miles, he's replaced the transmission once, gone through shocks twice, but the Hemi internals remain untouched. The downside? The Hemi tick, a lifter noise that's annoying but not catastrophic. It requires premium fuel for maximum power. Some owners report MDS cylinder deactivation, creating lifter issues around 200,000 miles. Use 2017 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4WD, $28,000 to $34,000 with 60,000 miles. You're buying the proven Hemi before Ram killed it for unproven Hurricane turbos. But does does Ram's Hemi match what Ford built for global punishment? Number 10. Ford Ranger, 2019 to 2023. A mine operator in Western Australia drives a 2020 Ford Ranger across outback terrain where roads are suggestions and breakdowns mean satellite phone rescue. His truck has 412,000 kilometers. Original 2.3-liter EcoBoost, never rebuilt, still hauling mining equipment in 110 degrees Fahrenheit heat and 100% humidity that corrodes Japanese trucks in 5 years. The Ford Ranger 2.3-liter EcoBoost, making 270 horsepower, represents Ford actually learning from mistakes. This engine is related to the Mustang's 2.3 EcoBoost, proven in performance applications and significantly more reliable than Ford's troublesome 2.7 and 3.5 EcoBoost engines plaguing F-150 US with catastrophic failures. Here's why this works. The Ranger platform ran in Australia, Southeast Asia, and Europe for years before US launch. That's real-world testing under brutal conditions. Outback dust, Asian humidity, European winters. The 10-speed automatic works better in Rangers than F-150 was because it's paired with appropriate power instead of being overwhelmed by massive torque. In South Africa, where Rangers work on farms spanning territories larger than Rhode Island, mechanics report these trucks surviving conditions that kill Toyota Hilux competitors. One farmer described driving his Ranger 80 miles with a cracked oil pan, leaking oil. The engine survived because Ford overbuilt the bearings, and the low-pressure oil warning gave enough notice to add oil every 20 miles until reaching help. The downside? The bed is only 5 feet long in crew cabs. The ride is firm, bordering on harsh. Turbo lag is noticeable from stops. Used 2020. Ranger XLT Super Crew 4 WD, $30,000 to $35,000 with 40,000 miles. You're buying Ford's best midsize effort, a truck proven globally before Americans could destroy it. But does Ford's global engineering match what Toyota built for war zones? Number 9. Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series with 1HZ diesel, 1990 to 2001. The United Nations has a vehicle procurement policy documented in their logistics manual. For operations in hostile environments, they buy Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series with 1HZ diesel engines. Why? Because in 25 years of UN field operations across Africa, Middle East, and Asia, these engines have failure rates approaching statistical zero. And when you're in a war zone, zero is the only acceptable number. The Toyota 1HZ diesel inline 6, making 130 horsepower and 200 pound-feet torque, was engineered for applications where the nearest mechanic was 500 miles away across terrain that would make mountain goats nervous. This wasn't automotive engineering. This was survival equipment disguised as an engine. Here's the reality. This engine was massively understressed, 4.2 liters making only 130 horsepower with diesel torque that could pull buildings. Toyota designed it to run on questionable fuel in extreme temperatures while being maintained by people with basic tools. The engineering was obsessive. Indirect injection so simple it could be repaired with hand tools. Mechanical fuel delivery with no electronics. Cooling system designed to work in Sahara Desert, 130 degrees Fahrenheit conditions. In Chad, where Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, runs land cruisers delivering medical supplies through active conflict zones, these trucks survive conditions that kill armored military vehicles. According to MSF logistics reports, their 1HZ land cruisers routinely exceed 500,000 kilometers, 310,000 miles, working in sandstorms, 120 degrees Fahrenheit heat, and roads that are dried riverbeds. One aid worker described his 1996 70 Series. Shot at, bullets through doors, rolled once escaping ambush, engine fire from fuel line hit by shrapnel, put out fire, kept driving. The downside? Gutless. 130 horsepower struggles with highway speeds. The interior is agricultural. Parts are expensive because these weren't sold in North America. Manual everything, steering, windows, locks. Used 1995 Land Cruiser, 70 Series 1HZ, $35,000 to $55,000 imported. You're buying UN-proven immortality documented to 500,000 plus kilometers in the harshest conditions on Earth. Check that UN procurement document on screen. They literally specify 1 Hertz engines for war zone. Number 8, Chevrolet Silverado, 2500 HD, 2011 to 2016. A heavy equipment hauler in Colorado runs a 2014 Silverado, 2500 HD, Duramax, pulling 40-foot gooseneck trailers loaded with excavators and bulldozers through Rocky Mountain passes where runaway truck ramps exist for reasons. Current mileage, 643,000. Original 6.6-liter Duramax LML, never rebuilt, still making full boost climbing I-70 at 11,000 feet elevation with 25,000-pound loads. The Chevrolet 6.6-liter Duramax LML making 397 horsepower and 765 pound-feet torque represents GM's diesel perfection before the 2017 plus L5P added complexity. This is Isuzu-derived engineering, the same company building commercial diesels designed for 500,000 plus miles in industrial applications. Here's why fleet managers choose these. The LML uses common rail Bosch injection, proven across millions of diesels worldwide. The Allison 1000 6-speed automatic is legendary. The same transmission in medium-duty trucks in motorhomes that routinely exceed 300,000 miles. According to Diesel Place forums, owners document these engines surpassing 500,000 miles, with maintenance consisting of oil changes every 10,000 miles, fuel filter changes every 15,000, and injector replacement around 200,000 miles if you're unlucky. In Wyoming's natural gas fields where trucks haul drilling equipment in 24/7 operations and temperatures range minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, the Duramax LML dominates because it simply works. One field supervisor described his 2013 Silverado. "We run this truck hard, full loads daily, terrible dirt roads, engine idling overnight in winter. At 588,000 miles, I've done DEF system once, turbo once at 380,000, injectors at 420,000. The block never opened, still doesn't smoke. The downside, DEF fluid adds ongoing costs. The CP4 injection pump can fail catastrophically if you get bad diesel, $8,000 to $12,000 repair. Emissions complexity requires dealer diagnostics. Use 2014 Silverado 2500 HD Duramax, $32,000 to $42,000 with 100,000 to 150,000 miles. You're buying GM's diesel that routinely exceeds 500,000 miles in commercial service. But does GM's Duramax match what Ram built for diesel supremacy? Number 7. Ram 2500 with Cummins 24-valve, 2003 to 2007. A cattle rancher in New Mexico runs a 2005 Ram 2500, managing 60,000 acres of desert where cell phone service doesn't exist, and breakdowns mean 20-mile walks in 105 degrees Fahrenheit heat. His truck has 518,000 miles. Original 24-valve Cummins, never rebuilt, still hauling horse trailers, livestock, and feed across terrain where pavement is a rumor and flash floods turn roads into rivers. The Cummins 24-valve 5.9-liter, making 305 to 325 horsepower and 600 to 610 pound-feet torque, represents the evolution of diesel perfection. More power than the 12-valve while maintaining core reliability. This engine uses Bosch 5P 44 injection pump, 2003 to 2004, or CP3 common rail, 2004.5 to 2007, but the fundamentals remain bulletproof. Here's why these dominate. According to Cummins forum members, the 2003 to 2007 24-valve combines modern power with proven durability. The 6-speed manual NV5600 handles the torque perfectly. The 4.8RE automatic requires valve body upgrades and transmission coolers to survive, but once upgraded handles 500,000 plus miles. These engines routinely exceed 500,000 miles with maintenance consisting of oil changes every 5,000 miles using 15 W40 diesel oil and fuel filter changes every 15,000. In West Texas oil fields where trucks haul drilling pipe in 24/7 operations and dust storms sandblast paint-off vehicles, the Cummins 24-valve earns legendary status. One equipment operator described his 2006 Ram working oil field duty. "This truck sees abuse, full loads daily, engine idling 8 to 12 hours, terrible Kalishi roads. At 490,000 miles, I've done lift pump. Injectors at 280,000, turbo at 380,000. The block internals? Never touched. The downside? The 48RE automatic is weak, requires immediate upgrades or manual swap. The VP 44 injection pump on 2003 to 2004 models fails if you run low on fuel. Lift pumps are mandatory upgrades. Use 2005 Ram 2500 Cummins 24-valve, $18,000 to $28,000 with 150,000 to 200,000 miles. You're buying diesel evolution proven to 500,000 plus miles in documented owner builds. Now, if you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button. 89% of you watch without subscribing. Number 6, Ford F-35 with 6.7-liter Power Stroke, 2011 to 2019. A heavy equipment hauler in Pennsylvania runs a 2015 F-350 6.7-liter Power stroke pulling lowboy trailers loaded with 40,000-pound excavators through Appalachian mountain passes, where Jake brakes scream and runaway truck ramps save lives. Current mileage, 612,000. Original 6.7-liter, never rebuilt, still making full power, climbing 8% grades with loads that would snap half-ton frames. The Ford's 6.7-liter Power Stroke, making 400 to 450 horsepower and 800 to 1,050 pound-feet torque, represents Ford's redemption after 6.0-liter and 6.4-liter catastrophes destroyed their diesel reputation. This is a Ford-designed engine built in their Chihuahua, Mexico plant specifically for Super Duty applications, and it's proven bulletproof. Here's why fleet managers trust these. According to FordTrucks.com heavy-duty forums, the 2011 to 2019 6.7-liter routinely exceeds 500,000 miles in commercial service. The torque shift 6-speed automatic handles the massive torque. The cooling system was overbuilt after 6.0-liter lessons, dual thermostats, massive intercooler, oversized radiator. The CP4 injection pump is the only weak point. Fails catastrophically if you get bad diesel, but disaster prevention kits costing $500 prevent this. In North Dakota's Bakken oil fields, where trucks haul drilling equipment in 24/7 operations and temperatures range minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, the F350 6.7 liters dominates fleets. One drilling supervisor described his 2014 F350. This truck never stops, full loads daily, idling overnight in winter, terrible roads. At 580,000 miles, I've done turbo at 340,000, EGR cooler at 420,000, injectors at 480,000. The block internals, untouched, still makes peak boost. The downside, DEF fluid consumption is high. The CP4 injection pump can fail. $8,000 to $10,000 repair if not prevented. DPF regeneration cycles require highway driving. Use 2015 F35 6.7-liter Power Stroke, $38,000 to $48,000 with 100,000 to 150,000 miles. You're buying Ford's diesel redemption, proven to 500,000 plus miles in owner-documented builds. But does Ford's modern diesel match what Ford built before emissions killed simplicity? Number 5. Ford F250 with 7.3-liter Power Stroke, 1999 to 2003. An electrical lineman in Montana runs a 2001 F250 7.3-liter Power Stroke with bucket truck equipment responding to power outages in conditions where wind chill hits minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And engine starting means life or death for people without heat. His truck has 687,000 miles. Original engine, never rebuilt, still starting at minus 45 degrees Fahrenheit and powering hydraulic lift equipment that draws massive electrical load. The Ford 7.3-liter Power Stroke, making 235 to 275 horsepower and 500 to 525 pound-feet torque, represents the last truly reliable Ford diesel before 6.0-liter and 6.4-liter disasters destroyed Ford's diesel reputation. This is an international Navistar-built engine, the same company building school buses, delivery trucks, and combines designed to run 500,000 plus miles in commercial duty. Here's what makes this legendary. The 7.3-liter uses indirect injection, HEUI, hydraulic electronic unit injector, technology creating massive torque while maintaining reliability. According to FordTrucks.com forums, owners document these engines surpassing 500,000 miles on original injectors, a feat modern diesels cannot replicate. The engine is massively understressed. Highway towing at 65 miles per hour uses maybe 40% engine capacity. In Canada's Northern Territories, where mechanics are 500 miles apart and temperatures hit minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the 7.3-liter Power Stroke dominates because it starts in conditions that kill everything else. One mine worker described his 2003 F250 working at a diamond mine north of Yellowknife. Temperatures hit minus 65 degrees Fahrenheit regularly. The truck sat outside 24/7. Block heater kept oil warm. At 612,000 miles, the engine started every single morning without complaint. The downside? Fuel economy is mediocre at 14 to 16 miles per gallon towing. The engine is loud, sounds like a tractor at idle. Parts are getting expensive as these trucks age. Turbo pedestal O-rings leak around 200,000 miles. Use 2001 F250 7.3-liter Power Stroke, $22,000 to $35,000 with 150,000 to 200,000 miles. You're buying Ford's last reliable diesel, proven to 600,000 plus miles in owner-documented builds. Pause here to see forum documentation. These engines hitting 600,000 plus are everywhere. Number 4. Ram 2500 with Cummins 12-valve, 1994 to 1998. A logging truck operator in Oregon runs a 1996 Ram 2500, hauling logging equipment up mountain grades where brake failure means you don't come back and chain-up areas exist because 6% grades in ice kill unprepared drivers. The truck has 823,000 miles. Original 12-valve Cummins, never rebuilt, still pulling 14,000-pound log trailers that would snap half-ton truck frames. The Cummins 12-valve 5.9-liter, making 215 horsepower and 440 pound-feet torque, represents diesel perfection that modern emissions destroyed. This is a Cummins-built engine, not Ram-built. That distinction matters enormously. Cummins has been building bulletproof industrial and marine diesels since 1919. They know diesels. They designed this for 1 million miles. Here's why these dominate. 1994 to 1998 models use the Bosch P7100 mechanical injection pump. No electronics, no computers, just precision German fuel delivery mated to American diesel torque. According to Turbo Diesel Register forms, owners report running these on filtered vegetable oil, kerosene blends, and questionable diesel without issues. The Getrag 5-speed manual is agricultural but indestructible. In Alaska's commercial fishing industry, where trucks haul boats in salt spray and sub-zero temperatures, the 12-valve Cummins dominates because mechanical simplicity survives. One boat captain described starting his 1995 Ram at minus 52 degrees Fahrenheit after sitting 2 months during winter, cycle glow plugs twice, turn key, cranked for 30 seconds, fired on all 6 cylinders. The truck had 687,000 miles and the engine didn't care about Arctic cold. The downside? The Dodge truck around the Cummins is disposable. Everything else fails while the engine runs forever. Manual steering, manual windows, minimal creature comforts. Rust destroys frames in salt belt states. Use 1996 Ram 2500 with 12-valve Cummins. $18,000 to $28,000 with 150,000 to 250,000 miles. You're buying diesel immortality proven to 800,000 plus miles in documented owner builds. But does Ram's mechanical Cummins match what Ram built with modern engineering? Number 3, Ram 2500 with Cummins 6.7 liters, 2013 to 2018. A heavy-haul trucking company in Texas operates Ram 2500, Cummins 6.7 liters. Trucks pulling gooseneck trailers loaded with mining equipment across oil fields where roads don't exist. Their fleet's highest mileage truck has 947,000 miles. Original 6.7-liter Cummins, never rebuilt, still making full power and passing emissions testing despite a near million-mile beating. The Cummins 6.7-liter, making 350 to 385 horsepower and 660 to 900 pound-feet torque, represents modern diesel engineering meeting old-school Cummins durability. This is the engine Cummins designed for B50 life of 1 million miles, meaning 50% of these engines are expected to reach 1 million miles before major overhaul and commercial duty. Here's why this dominates. The 2013 to 2018 6.7-liter uses Aisin AS 69R C6 speed automatic, a transmission so good Ram had to source it from a Japanese supplier because they couldn't build anything reliable themselves. The Cummins engine routinely exceeds 500,000 miles with basic maintenance, oil changes every 15,000 miles using 15W40, fuel filter changes every 15,000, DEF fluid top-ups. In North Dakota's Bakken oil fields, where trucks work 24/7 hauling drilling equipment in conditions ranging minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The Ram 6.7-liter Cummins from 2013 to 2018 dominates because it simply will not stop. One fleet supervisor described their 2015 Ram approaching 900,000 miles. "We run this hard, full G VWR daily, trailer loads, terrible roads. We've done turbo at 520,000, injectors at 680,000. The block, crank, pistons, untouched. The downside, these are expensive. Even used models command premium prices. DEF fluid adds ongoing costs. The ride is harsh unloaded. Annual maintenance averages $850. Use 2016 Ram 2500 Laramie Crew. Cab 4-wheel drive Cummins. $42,000 to $50,000 with 80,000 miles. You're buying the diesel with Cummins B50 million mile rating and documented examples approaching 1 million miles in commercial service. Think that's impressive? Toyota built something with verified million-mile proof. Number 2. Toyota Tundra with 5.7-liter V8, 2007 to 2021. Victor Shepard, a Louisiana truck driver, bought a 2007 Toyota Tundra new for his hotshot delivery business. By 2016, he'd driven it 1 million miles, verified by third-party odometer inspection and Toyota corporate engineers who flew to Louisiana to inspect the truck. They tore down the engine and found minimal wear. The engine looked like it had 150,000 miles, not a million. Toyota gave him a brand new Tundra and put his truck in their corporate museum. The Toyota Tundra 5.7-liter 3UR-FEV8, making 381 horsepower, represents old-school engineering, refusing to chase fuel economy at reliability's expense. This is a cast-iron block V8 with massive internal tolerances designed to survive 1 million miles, and Victor Shepard proved it. Here's the brilliance. The timing chain never needs replacement. It lasts the engine's lifetime. The 6-speed automatic uses traditional torque converter design proven across millions of Toyotas. There's no turbocharger to fail, no complex hybrid system requiring $35,000 battery replacement, no direct injection carbon buildup, just a massive V8 that refuses to die. According to Tundras.com forum members, owners routinely document these engines exceeding 400,000 to 500,000 miles, with maintenance consisting of oil changes every 10,000 miles and transmission fluid at 60,000. One Alaska bush pilot described his 2010 Tundra working in conditions where minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit is normal and trucks must start or people freeze. At 380,000 miles, he's never had engine work beyond spark plugs at 120,000 and alternator at 280,000. The downside? Fuel economy is brutal at 14 to 15 miles per gallon combined, worst in class. The interior feels dated with small infotainment screens. The rear seat doesn't fold up in CrewMax models. Use 2012 Tundra SR 5 CrewMax 4WD, $22,000 to $30,000 with 120,000 to 150,000 miles. You're buying the only truck with manufacturer-verified 1 million mile proof inspected and documented by Toyota engineers themselves. Look at that teardown report on screen. Toyota engineers couldn't believe the internals looked brand new at 1 million miles. But one truck is more legendary than even Toyota's million miler. Number 1 survived what nothing else could. Number 1, Toyota Hilux with 22RE, 1985 to 1995. BBC's Top Gear tried to destroy a Toyota Hilux with 22RE engine in their 2007 indestructibility test that became automotive legend. They drowned it in the ocean tide for hours, set it on fire, dropped it from a crane, hit it with a wrecking ball, placed it on top of a 20-story building, then demolished the building with explosives. After all that torture, presenter Jeremy Clarkson cleaned the spark plugs and it started. That truck sits in the Top Gear Museum today, still runs. The Toyota 22RE, making 112 to 116 horsepower and 140 pound-feet torque, represents the ultimate in mechanical immortality. This 4-cylinder wasn't powerful, but it was engineered for conditions where failure meant death, and the nearest mechanic was weeks away by donkey. Here's the reality. Toyota's Kaizen philosophy, continuous improvement taken to psychotic levels, created engines that simply would not die. According to YotaTech forum archives, members document 22RE engines exceeding 500,000 to 700,000 miles on original internals. The engineering was agricultural, cast iron block, simple port fuel injection, timing chain that lasted 300,000 plus miles. Toyota designed this to run on terrible fuel in extreme temperatures. In Somalia, where Toyota Hilux became the unofficial technical vehicle during Civil War, these trucks survived conditions that destroyed armored military vehicles. Vice News documented Hilux trucks with 22RE engines working in active war zones, shot at repeatedly, engine fires, multiple rollovers, and they kept running. One militia member described his 1988 Hilux. This truck 12 years old when war started. War lasted 20 years. Still works. Engine never opened. The downside? Gutless. 112 horsepower struggles with modern traffic. Timing chain guides wear around 200,000 miles, requiring $800 to $1,200 replacement. Rust destroys frames in salt belt states. Used 1990 Hilux 22RE, imported, $18,000 to $35,000 depending on condition. You're buying Top Gear proven immortality that literally survived building demolition and became the most legendary truck engine ever built. You came here wondering which trucks can hit 1 million miles. Now you know. Toyota's 22RE survived what nothing else could, Tundra's 5.7-liter hit verified 1 million, and Cummins diesels approach million-mile ratings in documented commercial duty. But here's the warning. Tomorrow's video exposes the 11 trucks that seem tough but catastrophically fail after 60,000 miles. Miss it and you might buy one. Hit subscribe and bell. 89% of you watch without subscribing. Fix that now. Which truck shocked you most? Comment below. Thanks for watching SUV Detective. See you in next video.